Gunshots, 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 gunshots. You know what it is. This one here is about inside Cecot mega prison full of deadly gangsters in El Salvador. Our youngsters need to see this so they understand how they doing it in other countries, so they know what they're lining themselves up for, because you get locked up in maximum security, 23-1 lockup. This is mega prison, right? Cecot, full of deadly gangsters in El Salvador. These are the brothers that they're trying to prevent from coming to America because they're not vetting anyone at the border. So this is what's going on, and this is how they're dealing with their gang violence over in El Salvador. So pay attention to this, share this with everyone, share this with anyone that know what time it is, just so that you fully understand. Make sure you subscribe. If you're not subscribed, hit the notification bell if you already subscribed. And you know what I mean? And subscribe and hit the notification bell. And don't forget the like button. All right? You know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. I'm here. I'm going to introduce you to these deadly gangsters so you see how they dealing with gangbangers, so that y'all know how to move in America, and hopefully you know how to move away from the life of crime, and you're paying attention to Unique Mecca Audio. My Cash App is on the screen. Make sure you're on point and you're not playing no games, because they're not playing any games with you. All right? So now we're going to bring this down here, and we're going to start this video, and we're going to narrate it so you understand about the type of prison that they built. These men is locked in these prison 24 hours a day. Really 23, but they come out for 1. All right? So let's get this thing moving.
And they are responsible for crimes such as murders.
All right, so let me run this back right now so you understand what time it is.
Now when an inmate walks into this door, he never leaves. Here are some of the most dangerous people in the world. You can see they have their tattoos. MS-13 is tattooed on their foreheads. Barrio 18. All these guys were once prideful and running the streets of El Salvador. Now they are locked behind bars for the rest of their lives. And he is taking them through a workout where they're doing lunges, and they're going to touch their toes for 10 seconds. The guards here would have everything they need to take down the prisoners. They have just asked the prisoners to take off their shirts so they can show some of their tattoos. And as you can see right here, you can see all the tattoos from the 18s on their chest to the 13s. ¿Y todavía se sienten orgullosos de ser bandero?
Yeah, before I go any further, let me give a shout out to Nick Shirley. That's his station, Nick Shirley. Go check it out if you want to see more videos like this. I just wanted to share this because I think he did an excellent job, and we don't do no hating over here at Unique Mecca Audio. We don't like rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls, but we give props where props is due, so we don't bash other channels. We just use the content to try and enlighten the people, because we're here moving together. All right, now we get ready to go inside Cecot prison. Check this out so you can really understand what's going on. You got those young people that just got arrested down there for the Julio Fulio murder, you know, they fighting for their freedom, and this is what prison look like on the inside, so I want you youngins to really see this, all right?
Today I'm here in El Salvador outside of Cecot, El Centro de Confinement de Terrorismo. It translates to the Center of Terrorism Confinement here in El Salvador. It is the biggest and most up-to-date prison in all of the Americas. It is capable of holding over 40,000 inmates, and it is...
Now, where you ever seen a prison that hold 40,000 inmates? Did you hear what he just said? 40,000 inmates. So imagine spending the rest of your life in here and getting out yourself for 1 hour a day just to do these stretches and lunges. You feel welcome to get out. We're going to see the inside of the cell in a minute. Just relax.
Home to some of the most dangerous people in all of the world. This prison was specifically designed to incarcerate any gang member that has any affiliations with gangs such as MS-13, Barrio 18, and they are responsible for crime.
Now, imagine if you youngins watching this and you elders that's gangbanging. Imagine if just because you're a gangbanger, they could put you in jail, a jail like this for the rest of your life. ADX Supermax is just like this, except you're lucky enough to be in a cell by yourself. So that's why, this is how I survived in ADX, so you understand. I did 5 years in ADX, 23 and 1. That means 23 hours a day locked in a cell, 1 hour a day out the cell. And when we do that, I want you to understand that we welcome that 1 hour. I was on a tier with 12 men. I'm going to interview the brother Fly so he could really get into it a little further. I've been real busy, so I haven't really been doing any interviews. But imagine being locked in your cell for 23 hours a day, so that one day they let you out. You're so happy there's 12 people on a tier, right? And they let you go to rec with the 12 people for the 1 hour a day. So that's the only time you get to communicate with other humans, just so you understand. Let's keep this moving.
Crimes such as murders, extortions, kidnappings, narco trafficking, drug dealing, any crime that you can possibly think of, these people inside have committed. And it is important for you watching this video to understand just how dangerous this country used to be. This country used to be controlled by gangs such as MS-13 and Barrio 18, as they would make...
You know, I want you to see that, right? I want you to see that on the screen. Imagine this man walking up to you in the middle of the night and demanding what you have. Your cell phone, your purse, your wallet, your chain, whatever. You understand? They stopped crime by locking up 40,000 of what they considered as the most dangerous prisoners, the most dangerous, civilians that was moving amongst the civilians, but they wasn't being civilians. So you understand. Now imagine this man walking up to you and demanding, your belongings in the middle of the night. All right?
Secret pacts with presidents and political leaders here inside the country. However, in 2019, Nayib Bukele was elected as president, and since then, the homicide rates have dropped to record lows, and now it is safer.
The homicide rate has dropped to record low. You see that El Salvador became safer than the U.S. in 2023 because of this prison that I'm showing you, and this is what they're going to wind up building in America, because all this is just a protocol, is a project, and America is looking at this. Remember, ADX was built based off of Pelican Bay. They saw the way they did Pelican Bay. They tried to take it to the next level. That was in the state of California, but the feds took it to the next level and created ADX Supermax. So pay attention, let's go. They cut the crime rate, and this country, El Salvador, that's where these people is crossing the border. They don't know who's coming in, so this could be some of the brothers that didn't get picked up yet, and they say, man, I gotta get out of here. All right?
For to be here inside El Salvador than it is to be inside the United States or Canada. It is literally the safest country in the entire Western Hemisphere. And come with me today.
You heard that? Now it's the safest country in the Western Hemisphere because they locked up 40,000 suspected gang members that they felt was causing the problems on the street. So imagine if they do this in America. You youngins, listen. You elders that know youngins that's out there, make sure they see this video. That's what this is about. I don't care if I get 100 views on this video, as long as I save one youth to say, man, I'm not trying to be like that. Pay attention to this. All right?
As we enter into Cecot, and I will show you what life is like for the prisoners here, what they are doing to make sure that these people will never leave. And I'm going to show you the technology that they are using inside of this jail.
Check the technology.
Sure that this country is as safe as can be.
Check this technology.
They get absolutely no service. These prisoners have absolutely no contact with the outside world.
All right, you see how everybody got cell phones in the prison? They call you from cell phones. They putting up videos of what's going on in the prison. What they did is they put up what they call a jammer. A jammer is so that it jams any Wi-Fi signal going in, so that if you got a cell phone, it don't work. So the officers can't even use their own cell phones because nobody on this complex could use their cell phone. They're starting right now to put up jammers in the United States. Jammers jam the signal so that you can't, get no outside signal.
And they have no way of getting a hold of anybody. And the reason why they cut off the cell service here inside this building is because gang members used to be able to run their gangs from inside these jails. However, with these new rules that they have implemented, such as cutting off the service, these gang members have absolutely no contact with the outside world.
I then went through the first of many security checkpoints.
And now they're going to do another check with us to make sure that we are not bringing anything inside of this jail. They're going to pat me all the way down, and they're even going to check my socks to make sure I don't have anything inside my shoes or my socks. And here inside of Cecot, everything is so simple. They're not leaving any room for any clutter or for anything to be used as potentially a harmful object or something to be misplaced.
And now
so you understand, right? When I was in ADX, right? We got the TVs that was sent over from Marion, which was 13-inch black and white TV with the UHF button that go you turn the joint. You know what I mean? Now, that's what they had. So you understand. Now, they over here in El Salvador, they don't have no TVs in the cell. They don't have no nothing. You understand? So this is what's going on. They're entering into the prison, and this is what it looked like on the inside of the prison. So make sure you share this video with any youngin you know so you can let them know that Unique Mecca Audio put you up on game. All right?
the warden of Cecot will describe the type of criminals that are inside the prison.
Aquí tenemos a los peores criminales que causaban luto y dolor a nuestra sociedad salvadoreña. Lo que tenemos acá encerrado es lo peor de lo peor. Son sujetos que han cometido una serie de delitos, desde homicidios, extorsiones, violaciones, privaciones de libertad. Sujetos que tienen condenas hasta más de 1000 años ahí.
And now all the criminals inside of this prison are here for life. They're going to be living inside of Cecot until they die.
See, they sentenced the prisoners to death for being a gang member. So imagine them sentence you to death just for being a gang member. You think it's cool, you yelling, you drill rapping, you sliding, you doing all of that stuff, and you think you getting away with it. America is coming up with a format just like this for you, and I'm trying to prevent you from going there by letting you see what is really going on and what is in store for you. The American people is going to turn their backs on you, so you understand. They turned their backs on me and my comrades, Lou Sims, Farris, Peter, Shue, Booby from the Booby Boys, JR from Chicago, Kaz and Sea-Dog from California. They turned their backs and said, do what you want to do with them because they're a menace to our society. And this is what they're planning for you in America.
Before we entered into the main cell of the prisoners, we had to go through one more security checkpoint.
Una de las modalidades que utilizaban las organizaciones terroristas era que utilizaban a sus mismos miembros, a sus familiares para...
He's saying that they use their family members to bring drugs in, so they have these scanners, right? When I was in Coleman, Florida, they had these same type of scanners in Coleman, Florida. You come out to visit, and if they suspect you're doing something, they picked you randomly off the line, and they took you to what they call R&D, which is receiving and discharging, and they put you in a body scanner. This body scanner can see everything that's in you like a CAT scan. So even if you got something in your rectum, they could see it. All right, so pay attention and listen. So you think you're going out like me? I got a good run with the drugs and all that because that's before this technology. But now with what they have, I wouldn't recommend what I do to or did to my worst enemy.
Introducir cosas vía oral, vía vaginal o vía anal. Ahora el día es imposible que alguien pueda sorprendernos.
The scanner will literally scan the entire body to make sure there's nothing on the neck, inside the stomach, or even the place where nobody would ever want to go, the butthole.
You know what he said? Even the butthole. So if you think you're going to stuff something in a visit, go in and you're going to be cool. You know what I mean? They got scanners that can see what's in your butthole. You know what I mean? So you push a balloon up there, you push a knife up there, a razor blade, and I'm going to give you one right because we like to ride. We got to do the ride in Unique Mecca Audio. I know a lot of Europeans, right? The Europeans was doing this. Europeans was taking hacksaw blades like this big, right? This big, and they'll wrap it up in toilet paper, you know, wrap it up in a kitchen glove, and then wrap it up in a surgical glove, and then stick it up in their rectum to go through so then when they go to another jail, they can cut the bars and escape. No one is thinking about escaping now. You understand what I'm saying? But that's how they prevented things like this over there, and they had, when we went in Oklahoma, they had a chair that you sit on and to tell if you got metal in you. I remember there was a young man that came through with me, a Spanish brother from Connecticut. He was a Latin king. He came in, he had his wedding ring. They said you couldn't travel with your wedding ring because it was gold. So he took the wedding ring and he stuck it in his rectum. He went through R&D at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is where we flew in on those planes. And the Oklahoma plane was one of the planes that they took from like the drug lords. This joint had duct tape around the wings. The stewardess, which was called marshals on the plane, they was instructed that in case of emergency, they jump out the plane and they leave us in the plane handcuffed and shackled to deal with whether the plane survived or not. So this is the type of life that I've lived, and I'm trying to tell you, I don't want you to live this life. This European is up here smiling like it's a joke, but this is no joke. No disrespect to Nick Shirley, but I'm just letting you know that, you know, he's just fascinated with what he's hearing, but this is what I lived. So let's move forward.
Literally check anywhere inside of the body to make sure that they're not bringing any sort of plastic bag that can be filled with powder, any weapons, anything like that family members or friends might have tried to bring gang members in the past. Now it is impossible for anything to even enter. All right, now we've entered into where these gang members are going to be. We're going to go face to face with some of the most dangerous people in the world. And as I've been in the process of making this video, a lot of the El Salvadorians and the guards here have told me that when you look into the eyes of these criminals and these gang members, you literally feel the presence of nothing.
You already said, you look into the eyes of these gang members and you see the presence of nothing. That's why I wear my sunglasses, because I don't want to scare you away, because if you're seeing deep into the souls of my eyes, you're seeing all the viciousness that I've experienced and I've been a part of. And I have nightmares at night. That's why I did the video. I want y'all to check out with Young and Mace and Academics. Big shout out to Academics. A round of applause. Because we're not no haters over here. We're going to give Academics his round of applause. And you know what? You know what? I think it's time. If y'all know Academics, reach out to Academics, right? Because I don't reach out to nobody. Reach out to Academics and let him know I like to sit down and be interviewed by him, because he's a civilian and I know where to take the questions that he drop off, like he did with Young and Mace when he said that anybody that get in a car with him, for example, he let him know, you know, if you get in this car, you're susceptible to die. So if you get in this car, that's on you. Back in the day when we pulled over and somebody wanted to ride, first thing we asked them is, are you dirty? That means, do you have drugs or a weapon on you? And if he said no, and he get in the car and you get pulled over and you get arrested and he don't claim it, you got every right to decapitate that man. Just letting you know what the rules are. But if he let you know, yeah, I'm dirty, and you allow him in the car, and then you get pulled over, and he says, no, it's not mine, you can't get mad at him because he told you before he got in the car that he was dirty. So you had the choice to say, well, you're dirty, so you can't get in the car. But if you allow him in the car when he tells you that he's dirty, and then you get arrested, then that means that you're willing to ride the ride out with him, meaning going through the court proceedings where you're both pleading not guilty and you're moving forward. But if he tell you he's dirty, you know what I mean? And you tell him he can't get in the car, you know, or you tell him he can get in the car and he get in the car with you, and then you get pulled over and he don't claim it, you can't get mad at him because he let you know that he was dirty. Understand that? Dirty meaning he got a gun or drugs on him, all right?
Feel death, you feel the presence of the devil.
Una vez ingresan, no vuelven a salir de acá. Y eso es literal.
Now when an inmate walks into this door, he never leaves.
Never leave when he walking into a life sentence just for being a gang member. So you youngins need to listen, man.
Buenos dias. So here are all the inmates. As you can see, they are all tattooed up. They have their gang signs up there.
Look at that.
Holy cow, you can see tattoos. And how many people are inside of one cell?
La capacidad real instalada.
80 men in one cell. They have triple bunks and fourple bunks and fipple bumpers and all of that. When I was locked up in Allenwood, was the first time in Allenwood USP I entered a shoe meaning special housing unit that had 3 bunk beds. 3. I want you to see that. They had 3 bunk beds. They had one that was so low that the bottom person that slept on the bottom bunk couldn't even sit up straight. His shoulders is hunched over like this because he can't sit up. The person up above him, he gets in, he's hunched over even lower, and then the person on the top got ruled to damn near stand up. But that's what you call a triple bunk cell. They got 80 men in a cell in El Salvador. 80 killers and gangsters, rapists, extortioners, and everything else, and they know to respect the law of the prison. Forget the law of society that don't exist when you don't feel like you're a part of society, but when you enter these prisons, this is what you have. So don't say you wasn't told, because you were told here at Unique Maker Audio. Subscribe, hit the notification bell if you already subscribed. And if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, my phone number is on the screen. You can reach me. What better YouTuber you got out there than that? All right?
De cada celda es para 80 personas, pero hay celdas que tienen más y hay celdas que tienen menos.
Here are some of the most dangerous people in the world. You can see they have their tattoos. MS-13 is tattooed on their foreheads.
That's how they stay in the cell 23 hours a day. And that many men in the cell. If you want, listen, and I'm just keeping it 100 so you rat bastards could look at something to talk about, because I can't stand you. They told me I can't use the H word. I can't stand you as far as I could breathe you. But look at this, 80 men in the cell. Imagine if you feel like you miss your woman and, you want to masturbate. How do you masturbate with 80 men in the cell knowing that they're going to kill you for seeing your genitals? You understand what I'm saying? Look how small that room is. 80 men stay in that cell for 23 hours a day until they come out the stretch, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But this is what is going on. 80 men in a cell. Look how wide and small that cell is, and it's triple and quadruple bunked up, so you understand.
Barrio 18, and they're here for life, and they can never leave. And inside of these prison cells, literally everything happens inside. Here is their bath and their shower, and if they want to go poop or pee, they have to do it in front of everybody. These prisoners have absolutely...
Right there. You see what he's doing right there, so you understand, right? This man is urinating. This is the way we urinated in the cell with 2 men in the cell. Now they got 80 men in the cell. We kneel down on one knee. We pull down the front of our jumper or the front of our pants with the elastic, and we pull our genitals out, and we urinate while we're on one knee with our back turned, and everybody respect that, because you got to go to the bathroom. You got to do that for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. Pay attention, man.
No control and no freedom here inside of Cecot.
He's walking through the halls right now. Look at all that men in one cell. 80 men with no woman for the rest of their life because they was a part of a
and
gang.
Each person inside of this jail is responsible for at least a death of one person. So each person you see right here has killed various people.
And the crazy part is, right, you see that cell, so you understand. This right here goes into the Julio Fulio, suspects that's locked up. They out there sliding on each other, killing each other in Jacksonville, killing each other in Chicago, killing each other in New York. They just had a big indictment with 176 counts for about a little over 24 young men. You understand? Now, you're killing each other as you see them, you bust your gun. That's the ops, you busting your gun. But then you wind up in prison and they put you in a cage like this with your ops. So you youngins pay attention. Your ops that you're shooting at because you have the freedom to roam when you want to roam is now going to be put in the cell with you. No weapons, no guns, no nothing, just your bare hands. So if the beef is not that serious to kill each other in a prison cell when they put you to bunk with another man from the opposite gang as you, and you let that ride, and then now, you on the street and you want to just kill because they from the ops, and then you wind up living together like this 80 men in a cell in El Salvador, mega prison, Cecot. Big shout out again to Nick Shirley. I'd love to interview this white dude because this is a beautiful video, man.
There's literally no freedom inside of these prison cells, and the only type of freedom they get is they can come over here to this area right here where they looks like they have
in the
a preacher,
hallway,
and they have some workouts
in the hallway.
Here they have let out some of the prisoners as they're going to be learning about the gospel. They have a preacher right here who's teaching out of the Bible. This is the kind of workouts they can do. They have an instructor guy right here, and he is taking them through a workout where they're doing lunges and they're going to touch their toes for 10 seconds. It's pretty crazy to see all these inmates as they have their tattoos of their MS-13 or Barrio 18 tattoo on their heads. All sorts of tattoos. It used to be a thing of pride to be a gangster.
They're rivals from the street
pride has been destroyed
and living together in the prison.
As they're never going to be able to leave this jail. It is honest.
Never be able to leave this jail. Spend the rest of your life in this jail just for being a gang member. Yo, man, share this video with every gang member you know, man. All right, and there goes my Cash App on the screen. Make sure you hit the logo, and it says it was created in 2020. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and all that. Unique Mecca Audio.
Honestly, it's extremely shocking to look these guys in the eyes and see, and you can feel the darkness that is inside of them as they have committed so many crimes that the light of Christ, or whatever you may believe, is gone out of their eyes as they are stripped away from their freedoms, stripped away from any privilege. And it is important to remember that these people will never ever leave this building right here, and the lights also never shut off. And when these inmates...
Let's talk about the lights never shut off, right? I was in 80X Supermax, right? That's one of the things that they trying to fix over there. When I got the 80X Supermax, the fluorescent lights stayed on. I slept all night. I love to sleep on my right side, right? But the right side, the light in the fluorescent light in the room, you understand, was right there. And as I'm sleeping, this light is in my eyes and my pupils never got a chance to rest, and it drove me nuts. That's what it was designed to do. Imagine spending the rest of your life in a room that the lights never go out and you got 80 men around you. I was in a cell by myself where the lights never went out, and it drove me nuts. I'm just keeping it 100, man. All right?
Inmates want to go to sleep. They sleep here on these bunk beds that are completely still. And the way these prisoners sleep, they are given one sheet. Now when an inmate walks into this door,
hold up. We gotta have to we gotta bring this back up, man, so you understand what's going on. You know what I mean? They got them sitting in a joint where they in the cell. You understand? Yeah, look at this. They got all them crammed in the cell together. Look at this.
There's literally no freedom inside of these prison cells, and the only type of freedom they get is they can come over here to this area right here where they looks like they have a preacher and they have some workouts.
A preacher? You go to prison for the rest of your life to meet
they're
God.
They're going to be learning about the gospel. They have a preacher right here who's teaching out of the Bible. This is the kind of workouts they can do. They have an instructor guy right here, and he is taking them through a workout where they're doing lunges and they're going to touch their toes for 10 seconds. It's pretty crazy to see all these inmates as they have their tattoos of their MS-13 or Barrio 18 tattoo on their heads. All sorts of tattoos. It used to be a thing of pride to be a gangster here inside El Salvador. However, their pride has been destroyed, and they're being humbled here inside this prison as they're never going to be able to leave this jail. It honestly is extremely shocking to look these guys in the eyes and see, and you can feel the darkness that is inside of them as they have committed so many crimes that the light of Christ, or whatever you may believe, is gone out of their eyes as they are stripped away from their freedoms, stripped away from any privilege. And it's important to remember that these people will never ever leave this building right here, and the lights also never shut off. And when these inmates want to go to sleep, they sleep here on these bunk beds that are completely still, and the way these prisoners sleep, they are given one sheet. They don't even receive a pillow, and they don't know if it's night or day because the lights never turn off. These guys were let out of the cell, and if you can look at their heads, their heads are literally plastered to the cement wall.
Let me tell you about the pillow, right? I don't have one around me, then it's a damn shame, right? You know the roll of toilet paper. You know your roll of toilet paper, right? I used to take my roll of toilet paper and put it under my head for a pillow. I used a roll of toilet paper for my pillow and slept like a baby. But that's because I didn't tell on anyone. I didn't put the case on my dead brother. So I slept like an angel with a roll of toilet paper under my head. And then you got the rat bastards that told, and they get to get a real pillow. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting here with a roll of toilet paper on a cement bed because I refuse to tell. Let's keep this moving.
And they're not moving. All these gangsters are afraid of their life, and their freedoms have been stripped from them as they live here inside these cells. And these are the rooms of solitary confinement. If a prisoner were to act up, he'd be sent into one of these rooms here.
Check out solitary confinement.
They get some water, and the only sort of light they have is this little peephole right at.
Now, you see that peephole, right? I was locked up in Trenton State Prison back in like 1982 in Trenton State Prison in one left house of pain. Big shout out to the brothers from New Jersey, because they helped me down. Big shout out to the brothers from New Jersey. Calm down, y'all. Calm down, relax. See that light? It was a little hole, right? It was a little hole, a little round hole in the floor, and the floor went down in an angle, you know what I mean? Like that, right? It went down an angle, and it had a round hole. That was my toilet. I had to stand over it and urinate. And then I realized that when I stand over it and urinate, I missed the hole, and the urination went around the hole on the concrete in the cell, and then I had to smell it for the duration of my time in the SHU. This is how I lived. I'm talking to you from my heart. I don't want you to live like this. That's why I do these videos. You get these rat bastards and flip-flop wearing public scumbags that go up here and say, what you need really making all that money? That's irrelevant. And the answer to that is yes. Check my transcript. I got pictures of 30 cars that I owned at one time. $1 million club in New York. $1 million club in Miami that I didn't even tell you about on South Beach, when dudes thought that South Beach was another part of the world, of the Virgin Islands. But we're talking about the United States. But they weren't about how much money I made instead of the trauma that I endured. Because they haven't endured anything. So they can't respect what I've been through. They can't respect what I'm trying to do. I don't expect the rat bastards to do anything but take 2 gunshots. Because that's what they deserve. Because all I'm trying to do is just preach the message to our youth, man. I had to piss in a little hole on the floor. I had to bend over the little hole on one knee, on 2 knees. I'm on my knees like I'm praying, trying to urinate and make sure it go in the hole. And the smell is still coming out the hole. But if I miss the whole cell smelled like worse than a New York alley back in the 70s and 80s. And this is how you want to live? I'm showing you what time it is. Don't say I didn't show you. Share this video, man. Share this video. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Mecca Crew or something. I don't even know what the name of that crap is. But, man, y'all pay attention to these YouTube videos, man. And let's keep this thing moving.
Here, and they get absolutely nothing to use to sleep or to rest.
That's how you spend your time.
Now, in case of a riot or whatever,
I did 5 years in a cell like that.
To take back to the prison. Right here, we have a guard. He has a shield. He has protection from head to toe. And now we're going to go into where all the guns are at, and also show you guys that as well. The guards here.
Now, the guns is there in case something break out. They running and they get these guns. They put on the shields and they come out. They call them Ninja Turtles in the feds. You know what I mean? You know, or, you know, the Goon Squad. Remember the Goonies? You know what I mean? Imagine these big European white boys. They pick the biggest white boys that's there and the biggest house niggas. And they put them in these Ninja Turtle outfits and give them shields and let them run up in a cell that you can put both hands out and touch both sides of the wall. Come on, man. I don't want this for you. That's why I'm showing this to you, so hopefully you catch on. these are the weapons they have and how they break. But these are the biggest killers in El Salvador that's trying to cross the border before they get picked up. And a lot of them made it over here, so don't think that it's safe as you think it is, because it's not safe. Not only did they make it over the border, they're letting the other criminals out that wasn't rehabilitated like Unique Mecca Audio that you have to deal with. So while I'm sitting there in my car, parked at a light, and somebody walk up with a mask, crossing the street, got his hands in his pocket, and I'm reaching, and my passenger's telling me I'm paranoid, I told him, no, I'm a survivor. I'm surviving. How do you know he don't have a gun? How do you know he didn't just come out of prison and wasn't rehabilitated like Unique Mecca Audio? How you know he didn't escape from El Salvador before they put him in Cecot? Let's keep this moving.
Here would have everything they need to take down the prisoners. Has any inmate ever got violent with one of the guards here inside Cecot?
Hasta este momento no hemos tenido ningún intento de fuga, por decir así, o de desorden al interior de la prisión.
These are the handcuffs the guards use to move the prisoners.
He asked him if anyone ever got violent with the guards. My crazy, dumb, stupid black ass had the nerves to run up on two police because they was stomping out one of my brothers from Ohio that I didn't even know, but he was my comrade because he was wearing the same green army outfit as me, and he was a prisoner, and they was trying to kill him, and I jumped in and tried to help him and caught 2 attempt murders on these officers. They beat me so bad they broke 2 of my ribs. They kicked in my 4 front teeth and used the axe handle to knock the rest out the gums. They took out, listen, they had a police in Lewisburg. I'm even going to say his name, so you rat bastards say whatever you want. There was a police in Lewisburg. His nickname was Rambo. He had an axe handle that he used for a billy club. At that time in 1994, they was allowed to have batons in the prison. This police was so racist, he wore a big gray uniform with red suspenders and carried an axe handle for his baton. An axe handle, this stick for his baton. He held my head between his heads with his big nasty boots. I'm smelling this man as he's trying to hold my head, and I'm squirming because I'm shackled behind my back with some flexi cuffs and shackled on with my ankles. And he took the axe handle and bashed my 4 front teeth in. And then took that same axe handle and knocked each side of my ribs. First time I ever broke a bone was in Lewisburg when they broke my 2 ribs and sent me to ADX. Welcome to the federal prison. I don't want you to have to go through it to experience it. I'm telling you what's on the other side of that wall. Don't let your homies come out that did county jail time, a little Rikers Island time, and ducked a couple of razor blades and put their work in with the razor blade, because they definitely did their thing on Rikers Island. But don't let them tell you that that's all they have to offer. Look how they bring these men out. They got it where they can't even stand up straight. They have to bend over. Because as you see that man standing there, he got shackles on his feet, he got handcuffs on his back, and then there's a chain between his legs that's only but so big so that he can't stand up straight. He got to walk like this to make sure he can't attack them. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. Cash App is on the screen. Make sure you hit the logo and it says it was created in 2020. My Cash App is Unique Mecca Hall. It's right there. Hit the logo, make sure it says created 2020. If this video don't deserve a donation, whether it's $1, $5, or $100, you need to get off this channel and go listen to what Diddy is accused of. And by the way, they get ready to drop some salacious Diddy crap on you to take your mind off the Kamala Harris and Donald Trump election. So mark my words that Unique told you first. Diddy information get ready to come out, because I know how they play these games.
Around, they put them around their legs, around their arms, and they have to walk just like this once they get them on, because the shackles do not go that far. Inside the jail, what kind of food are the prisoners given?
Look what they eat for the rest of their life.
Queso o crema y dos
beans, man, and tortillas. That's their meal for the rest of their life. You want that?
Una porción de arroz, una porción de pasta, dos
A
tortillas.
little portion of rice.
So they're
Come
not
on,
given
man.
any sort of meat or any chicken?
Meat?
No existe un menú que te traiga pollo.
No, he's
carne,
from Monkey
para
Cipher.
libertad. No existe.
Here inside Cecot, there are 8 different buildings that are designated to the prisoners. The sides of the buildings are a size of a football field, absolutely ginormous. And if you were to try to escape Cecot, it literally would be impossible. Not only are there 2 walls you'd have to hop over, and one of those walls is 27 feet high with an additional 9 feet of electrical fencing that is at 15.
Did you hear what that man said? 27 feet of water and 9 feet, wall electrical wire. If you even climb over the wall, your ass gonna get electrocuted. So that means you stuck there forever.
Volts, and there are 27 watchtowers inside the prison itself. And the ground here on Cecot are pebbles, so if anyone were to try to escape or try to walk, you can easily hear because it makes a lot of noise. And
hey, y'all, I'm gonna give you one. Let's ride. I'm gonna give you one. I ain't ride for a minute in this video. I'm gonna give you one, right? I met a dude, right? I'm even gonna tell you his name because he's official, European. His name is Dickie Lynn. Google him, Dickie Lynn. These are the men that I was locked up. Dickie Lynn went to a FCI. He got locked up. You see, y'all getting a bonus prison story in this. Dickie Lynn got locked up. They put him in an FCI because, European. Oh, my bad. European means white on the palm, black on the back. Now, European named Dickie Lynn, right? Good white dude. I met him at ADX. He came to ADX because I'm going to say this real fast as we go through because one of these crab-ass YouTubers said, oh, when Unique got in front of Apple, he was talking really fast and he was nervous. No, I wasn't nervous, my nigga. I was getting my point across because that's how niggas talk from the hood. Gunshots. Now, I'm going to get this one real fast so we speed up and finish the rest of this video because it's almost done. Been on here 40 minutes already. Now, check it out. Dickie Lynn in the joint, they sent him to an FCI. He go to FCI. When he go to FCI, he work in the kitchen. While he work in the kitchen, he's the one that do the produce coming in. So you got the trucks coming in. So as the trucks is coming in, he went and he contacted one of his homeboys. He had money. He was locked up for flying airplanes through Louisiana from Mexico for the cartel. So he had plenty of money. So he went out. He bought a truck. He bought the truck to deliver the fruits and vegetables. And he had a hole made in the bottom of the truck in a cement bar, in a metal bar, cage in the bottom, that was cement, that was metaled in. And when they came to drop the fruits off, he sent out a fake, produce intake order. When he sent out the fake produce intake order, he gave it to his person that was driving the truck that he wound up buying. They came in with the truck, and when they came in with the truck, they came and he got up under it, and they drove him out to prison, and he got away. Dickie Lynn escaped for about 18 months. While he was on the run for 18 months, his case was on appeal. All his co-defendants won for the same thing that Young Thug going through right now, the same thing that Alabama went through, which was prosecution misconduct and withholding of Brady evidence. And all of them got released. They all pled guilty to like a year and got time served when they all had life sentence, but Dickie Lynn was on the run. Dickie Lynn on the run. While he on the run, all his co-defendants went home because they took the deal. When he got caught 14 months after they went home, Dickie Lynn wound up coming into the prison and he said, I bet my co-defendants went out prosecution misconduct. Let me file my prosecution misconduct. When Dickie Lynn went to file the prosecution misconduct, the government came back and they responded that no, once you escape, that forfeited your appeal right, so you have no longer a right to an appeal, so you have to do your life in jail. Did you hear what I just said? His co-defendants wound up winning on prosecution misconduct. He's one of the co-defendants, sat through the trial, experienced the same prosecution misconduct. When they experienced the prosecution misconduct, the co-defendants went home. He got caught after he escaped. So they said once he escaped, he violated that, so he ain't got nothing coming. I watched Dickie Lynn. I was in like 3-4 different prisons with him over the years, and every prison I was in, Dickie filed to get his appeal rights, filed to get appeal rights, filed to get appeal rights. They said, no, your appeal was forfeited when you escaped. You should have never escaped. And he's like, but I'm actually innocent because the prosecution withheld the evidence and withheld Brady material, which was exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory evidence is evidence that could free you, you know what I mean? And the prosecution withheld that would have helped you to show that you're actually innocent of the charge. They said none of that applied to you, Dickie Lynn, because you escaped. Now let me move on with the video.
And after walking around outside, we went back inside the prison to a room where an inmate awaits trial, giving each inmate the right to defend himself for the crimes he's accused of.
Right here is one of the prisoners, and he is on a Zoom call right now because he is trying to prove that he's innocent. He's talking to the judge through a Zoom call, and if he wants to talk, he has to raise his hand in order to talk to anybody. And now let's take that, right? You see this, that dude is sitting there, he's having a court through a TV, right? Because we like to ride. We like to ride. I've been through hell, man. And I'm trying to prevent y'all from going through hell. Check this ride out that I've been through. I'm in ADX Supermax. I'm in ADX Supermax. They actually built a courtroom in the ADX Supermax because they said that we were so violent, all of us that were sent to ADX. Big shout out to Fly, Owen Zell, David Ford, rest in peace. You understand what I'm saying? Wayne Perry, Pistol Pete,
You know, big shout out to all the brothers that's still trapped at ADX. AJ, you know what I mean? Anthony Jones out of Baltimore. These are men that's trapped in ADX. They told me when I had a court hearing, I had to go down to a little room, and they took me to a room, and it was a courthouse in the ADX. And then they had a big TV monitor and told me they're going to do my court hearing from there because I was too dangerous to transfer out the prison to go about amongst other prisoners in Virginia. So I'm all the way in Colorado, Florence, Colorado, P.O. Box 8500 for the address at ADX Supermax. I remember it like the back of my hand. Now, I'm sitting in there, and they telling me that I'm having a court through what they called today a Zoom before Zoom came out. So you had people that was fighting for cruel and unhumane punishment that said no, that, and the reason why I won that, so I didn't have to go through that hearing, is because they said that the way the Constitution is written, that the jury of your your peers is allowed to come in and sit in on any trial, whether they know the person or not. So now, being that I'm in ADX, it's a Supermax, they don't let anybody on the compound, so they wouldn't let the locals come in to see the trials that they was holding in this self-made mockery of a courtroom. Did you hear what I just said? Or this is too fast for you? Because I'm going to speed this up because I've been on here long enough, and I want y'all to understand what's going on, because it's about this video over in El Salvador, and this way I don't want the youngest to wind up that's gangbanging that's on the street, so that's why I'm showing this video. So like I said, share this video, make sure they see it, and follow me on Instagram. The name is right over my head. Unique Mecca Audio at Instagram. Now, check, right? So they told me that I couldn't, nobody from the town could come in. So we filed on it and we won, and they shut down that courtroom. As we speak today, they still have that courtroom in ADX, but they don't want to let the civilians from the local towns or out of state come on ADX property to sit in the courtroom, so that's why they can't use the courtroom. But they built the courtroom for you to be able to have what they call today a Zoom meeting. But I was back there all the way in 1996 when they tried to do my appeal hearing through what they call today a Zoom. I experienced everything. So if y'all know somebody that want to do a movie that ain't scared to, you know what I mean, to have a gangster, show them what a gangster look like. Because all the rappers and all this that I know from back in the days, they scared to death because they don't want, the world to see what a real gangster look like, because they've been faking like they've been gangsters for the last 30 years. So that's why they holding me back. So if you know anybody want to do a movie, hit me up. Let's get this thing popping. All right?
They have asked the prisoners to take off their shirts so they can show some of their tattoos.
Look at the tattoos. Look how many men is in a cell and how they climbing from these top bunks like they in a tree house, and this is how they have to spend the rest of their lives. I don't want you youngins to do that. My Cash App is on the screen. Make sure you hit the logo and it says my Cash App was created in 2020. Let's keep this moving. All right. Look at this. All different gangs. And the crazy part is, all these gangs was out there killing each other, the same as, the ATK in Jacksonville, the YSL in Atlanta, FBG ducking them in Chicago. They all wind up trying to kill each other as free citizens, but then they wind up being put in a cell and forced to live with each other or kill each other. And if you want to kill each other in these cells, they don't care. You see the dude stand up in the back, look like he hanging himself. He all the way in the top bunk. He ain't even trying to get down, so that means he ain't trying to be down there, amongst the wolves. So he just sit up there, gonna do his time in quiet. He'll be the one that, at the end of the day, if somebody gets sexually frustrated, that's the one they're gonna get, because nigga, you scared to even come down here on the floor. All right?
MS-18 sureños están allá al centro y revolucionarios están allá al otro costado.
Look at this.
You can see right here, you can see
no
all
mattress
the tattoos from the 18s on their chest to the 13s.
for the rest of their
¿Y todavía
lives.
se sienten orgullosos de ser bandero?
Now they even asked them, are you still proud to be a gangster? Look at these men. They from different sets was killing each other, and now they're living together. But in society, they was killing each other. That's the same thing that's happening with our young people here in America, that we need them to see this video. Stop it. Look at this this, man. I'm giving you the real behind the scenes.
See or no? See?
And after asking one group of gangsters if they still felt proud to be gangsters, I wanted to ask another group as well.
¿Y todavía se sienten orgullosos de ser bandiero?
Definitely, they still
And this
proud
group
to
of
be a
gangsters'
gangster.
response was a little bit different than the last.
No.
All of them said, they asked them, if you proud to be a gangster. One group said yes, because I guess, you know, they peoples around. Another group in another cage of 80 men said, hell no, I'm not proud to be a gangster. I got to spend the rest of my life in prison. I want to wake up like Unique Mecca Audio and go home and save the youth of El Salvador.
These guys were once prideful and running the streets of El Salvador. Now they are locked behind bars for the rest of their lives. It's pretty amazing if you think about it, what Nayib Bukele has been able to do with this country. The streets are as safe as they've ever been because all these guys are out. And I want to emphasize that behind each one of these people that are inside this jail is a life that was taken away, because each person here had to at least kill one person to get inside this jail. There are thousands of lives that were taken away by these individuals. These are murderers, kidnappers, gang members, horrible people, and now they're locked behind bars for the rest of their life, and I imagine they have been humbled at extreme matters. And as
You heard that? Locked behind bars for the rest of their life, and they're humble. Do they have a choice? That's how they gonna humble the Fulio murderers, attempted murderers. That's how they're gonna, you know, humble FBG duck killers, because now they're gonna be rolling with O Block and the other blocks that they was beefing with. They gotta protect themselves against each other in the federal prison. I'm telling you what's on the other side of the wall. No need to fight on this side and then hold hands and protect each other on the other side, locked in the cell away from your family, friends, loved ones, and women for the rest of your lives.
As I was saying, these people are all criminals. However, when you do look them in the eyes, and I did try to talk to some of them, they did give me some smiles, you kind of realize that at the end of the day, everyone is human, but these people are criminals. They deserve to be in here. They deserve to be in jail. I'm sure at one point in their lives, each one of these persons was a good person, but if you make the wrong decisions in life, you could find yourself in a jail just like this.
After being
Heard what he said, if you make the wrong decision in your life, you can find yourself in a jail like that. So don't say I didn't tell you. You know what I mean? This is what's going on. Unique Mecca Audio bring you the exclusive. Let's get this thing popping, and we're going to tap out, then I'm going to give a closing speech. All right?
Being one of the only outsiders to ever enter Cecot, and one of the first Americans to do so, I feel honored to have been able to enter into Cecot and see what is making El Salvador the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. Please consider subscribing and give this video a like, and I have more to show from El Salvador in the coming weeks.
You know, that's where we at, man. So if y'all want to really get into that, to think that this is a game, this is not a game. This is a bunch of different rival gang members living together, 80 men in a cell for the rest of their life with no constitutional right to fight. They let you get a little court TV and they play the little games, but they trapped. You know how many men and women was picked up for just being affiliated with the gangs, not even a part of the gangs, just grew up with somebody in the gang and hung with them. So when you hanging with a gang member on the street and the police take a picture of you with that person, then an indictment come down and you wind up in an indictment, don't say that Unique Mecca Audio didn't tell you that these people is not playing with you. They got something called gang affiliation, that you affiliated with the gang, and that alone is equivalent to like being an accomplice. That's equivalent to aiding and abetting, meaning you aided and abetted the furtherance of the crime just by you being with the gang member. So if you know somebody's a gang member, you need to fall back. Don't say I didn't tell you. Been on here long enough. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're already subscribed, hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell. I'm going to say it again. Hit the notification bell, dog it. All right? And if you're just subscribing, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And of course, if you just watch it and you like the content, hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing. And the Cash App is on the screen. You complain about the Cash App, at least hit the notification bell and subscription so I can post the videos when I want. And it'll allow you, because I'm busy, I'm living my life, 26 years in federal prison, so I don't have a set time for when I do this. I do this when my psychological trauma decides to get the best of me, and I want to sit in front of this camera and talk to the people and let them know that the demons is attacking me, and I don't want the demons to attack them. So I sit here and I turn the camera on when I can't control the demons. Cop the book of Roar in Harlem at roarinharlem.com. roarinharlem.com. The same title as the book on Bing and Google. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the notification bell, man. Let's get this thing popping. We've been on here long enough, and I really enjoyed this, man. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to